All right, on these A8, we're solving quadratic equations by factoring, taking the square roots, or completing the square, and applying the quadratic formula. Technically, they probably want you to complete the square on this one. We could go ahead and let's try to use our handy dandy calculator first. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to go to y equals, and I'm going to put 4x squared. And in order for me to put it in my calculator, I need to set this equal to 0 because we're solving for x. So 4x squared plus 12x minus 135, and that's going to be equal to 0. So this is going to give me 4x squared plus 12x minus 135. And I'm going to graph it. Okay, so I have a 0 that's in the negative region and a 0 that's in the positive region. And looking at this, let's see if I zoom out. Sorry, zoom to fit. Okay, yes. So if I see this, my vertex is in the negative region. So now I'm going to go to second graph. And I'm going to look and see if I can identify my vertex. Oh, okay. So if I look here, I'm looking for where the y values repeat. I've got right here, I've got negative 143 and negative 143. That means my vertex is going to be right in between those two numbers. Now I'm going to see if I can find a y value of equal to 0. If I can find the y is equal to 0, that will tell me what my value is. I'm not finding the y value of equal to 0. It did tell me I only want the positive one. But if I'm going through here, I'm looking at this, I'm not finding it. That tells me that it's somewhere in between. That means it's going to be a fraction. All my answers here are whole numbers. So that means I need to use the quadratic formula. So my A here is equal to 4, my B is equal to 12, my C is equal to 135. Your quadratic formula is on your star reference material. This is going to be negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is find the 4b squared minus 4ac first, which we call that our discriminant. This is going to be 112 squared, which is going to give me 144, minus 4 times our a value, which is 4, times negative 135. Okay, whoops. This is then going to give me 144 plus, because we got negative 4 times 4, which gives me negative 16. Negative 16 times negative 135 is going to give me positive 2,160. I'm going to add 144 plus 2160. That's going to give me 2304. All right, now I'm going to get x, and I'm going to do x is equal to negative b, which is negative 12, plus or minus the square root of 2304 all over 2 times a, which is 4, so that gives me 8. All right, that means that this is going to be two answers. Let me go this way. That means my answer is going to be negative 12 plus the square root of 2304 divided by 8, or negative 12 minus the square root of 2304 over 8. And let's look at here what we're going to get. We're going to get second quit, negative 12 plus the square root, 2304, enter. That gives me 36 divided by 8. That gives me 4.5. That is a positive value. So that means that is the value that I want. The other one would give me a negative value. So that is the answer that I would bubble in on my answer key. All right, number 40, what is the x solution? What is the value of x in the solution to this equation given to us here? Again, here I'm going to use my answer choices to determine this, and I am most definitely going to use my calculator. So I'm going to do 5x squared minus 36x plus 36. And I'm going to go to second graph. And I'm going to go to where x is equal to -6. I'm going to see if I have a 0. I don't. So f is out. I'm going to go to x is equal to 4. Nope, no 0, so that's out. All right, my next answer choices are decimals, and I don't have a decimal on here. So I'm going to go to second window. That gives me this table set here. I'm going to change the table set to -1.8. And I'm going to go to second graph. And that gives me the y value of 117. So that is also out. That means I'm going to go back to second table. Oh, look right here. If I look here, I can get to 1.2, and that gives me my y value of 0. So J is my answer choice. You could also take, once you got to the decimals, you could have then plugged in those decimals into X and solve. But this is I'm showing you the much faster way to solve this, especially when you're dealing with time on the test. All right, number 22, we're dealing with the same TEK, 5A. What are the solutions? X plus 7 squared is equal to 81. This is a perfect square. This is a perfect square. I'm going to take the square root of both sides. This becomes x plus 7 is equal to plus or minus 9. I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. That gives me x is equal to -7 plus or minus 9. That means my answer is either 9 plus or 7 plus 9 or -7 minus 9. Second quits. -7 plus 9 gives me 2. This is the only one that has a positive 2. -7 minus 9 gives me 16. J is our answer. You could have also checked it by plugging in your number in for x and then solving to see if it matches 81. I'm going to go ahead and stop here on this video, and then I will continue in the next one. See you then.